This is kind of like the whole controversy of putting the team aspect back in the mixture of individual series.
Yeah.
There is a possible Lincoln Hoger and Harrison Bauer matchup here this last weekend, and then we didn't see. That could have been a sectional finals match, potentially a state semifinals, or who knows match. Back to back to back. I mean, granted, it could have been a regional too, but I don't know. The more times you wrestle somebody, it's harder to beat them again.
Yeah, it is.
And so, buddy, in your guys' situation, did they not wrestle Hoger?
They did not wrestle us. No. Hoger was at 50.
Okay.
So
one could say that they weren't. I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know if they were trying to win or not. But yeah, Maine South, Park Ridge, Maine South against St. Charles. They didn't supposedly wrestle their starters or the lineup that they were anticipating.
Yeah. And real stupid question. This does not count for match count, correct? Like, there's no way.
No, well, you got to regionals. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, now, I've heard this before from Kevin Dresser, so now it came from him, so I know it's legit. But like pitch count, right? Pitch count. Maybe is Maine South loaded with studs that they're watching their pitch count?
Well, I think the question is, though, we've talked about the fact that you put the duels ahead of the state series. Like, if you genuinely don't think that your team can win the duel,
why risk somebody getting hurt?
Why even go out there? Now, I think if you think about it, they should have forfeited the team regional if they weren't going to give it a try, and they should have gave it to the guys whatever team got second. I mean, if they weren't, I mean, couldn't you just forfeit the team regional if you didn't really want to send your best lineup to the team state? I guess that's my question, is like, if you didn't want to show up, why'd you show up?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the other question, I never thought about it till this weekend, being at girls regionals. They were talking about the girls high school schedules getting bumped up 2 weeks, so it'll start 2 weeks before the boys schedule will next year. So is this like the new dynamic, new schedule for boys, or is this a 1 year thing till they get things sorted out
with the girl? Yeah, good question.
No, I'm saying, like, are they going to continue to do it the way they did it this year, next year for boys?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Wasn't this largely created under the assumption that it freed up more time for the girls regionals and stuff like that?
I never did hear the reasoning behind why they did it.
Because
otherwise, they said that they're trying to make them both state series 4 weeks. Okay. That's what I heard. Because then the girls' state is off a week when boys' individual state is.
Got it. Yeah,
they're the same time as dual state. Yeah.
Yeah, this year it changed. I don't remember it being like a super big talking point going into the off season, and then it happened. So I guess we'll find out if it changes for next year. But yeah. So this week's going into sectionals. Big thing about sectionals right now that we talked about last podcast was the Liam Kelly situation. We dove into it a little bit last week, but it was all speculation. We found out a little bit of information. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go off on it, because I did some research on it, and so I don't know if it was where we ever got the dope that it was eczema, but it's not even like so. I dug into it, and it's not eczema. That's am I saying the word right? Even eczema.
Eczema.
Oh, I'm a dentist, not a doctor. So
dermatologist is the proper.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So it's called granuloma annular, and it's under the skin. And if you Google it, the first thing that comes up is it's not NOT contagious. So talking to some people that were at the tournament, it was the Morton Berwyn Cicero trainer that said he's not familiar with it, and he said no. They escalated it a little bit more and said, hey, listen, like, here's our doctor's note, here's this and that. And he said, no, I don't know what this is. The answer is no. the more they
And doesn't-
press, I think
doesn't
the
that-
more he.
Go ahead.
Go, you go.
No, doesn't that condition present similar to ringworm?
I mean, depends how you look. It looks more like a bruise to me. You know what I mean? And well, here's what I did. I looked at pictures of Liam Kelly. It's the same spot he's got a spot on his bicep. And he's got a spot on that's like inside of his bicep. And he's getting his arm raised last year at the state tournament that he won. You can see it there.
I remember seeing
Donnie
it. Dalton,
Brook-
do you have access to that picture, Dalton, where you could put it up?
I never found it. I mean, I'll look real quick.
See
But
if I can find it too.
And all I did was play like picture game, and I looked, and he's got the same exact spot, same exact shape at Donnie Brook at state last year. You know, and I believe that they told the trainer, like, here, look, here it is. It's been here for a year, and they gave him the paperwork. They talked to his dermatologist, and this fucking trainer wasn't going to have it, so that's the way it went.
I got it. And so when what about the whole aspect with the note? So if the note is presented, is there still like the trainer on site still has the ability to overrule it?
Yeah. The Morton Cicero Berwyn trainer who was doing skin checks.
So a sports medicine trainer who is known to tape ankles and check out bruises.
Don't forget about bag ice.
The
Bag
bag
ice.
has the authority to overturn an actual condition or a physical
Dalton, I
condition.
sent you that picture.
Okay, I got it. Let me
And I mean, you know, and lo and behold, the kid from that school wins the bracket, which maybe he wouldn't have won it if Liam was in the bracket. You know, I know that.
we definitely
I don't even know who the kid is, so I'm not dogging the kid, but I'm just
yeah,
saying
we looked up the records. I mean, the kids that
those three kids don't make it out of sectionals.
yeah.
No, not even
Like-
close.
And nothing against you three kids. It's just, but everything against your stupid fucking trainer.
Correct.
Okay, so this picture, let me pull this up. This picture is from the Donnybrook picture. And let me do this.
The one that I sent you, you could see it on both his biceps. And I think that was from last year's state tournament, him getting his hand raised.
No, it literally says Donnybrook.
There you go. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So these are the
Yeah, that's the same thing I found on the Donnybrook Facebook. I mean, come on, man. They show the trainer, look, here it is a year ago. And he just said he wasn't familiar with it. Well, fucking Google it. You know you got a cell phone with
Yeah.
fucking internet. You know what I
well,
mean?
especially
Google it.
if they're in the same exact places and they're not gone. It almost like the way that I just saw it, it almost resembles. Have you ever seen people that they do like burns instead of tattoos? They do like
Branding.
Branding.
where the skin raises and it looks like it's
Yeah, but this is
a
under
wound.
this is under the skin. According to when I Googled it, it's under the skin. It's not raised. It's under.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I guess I would have
So-
to see it in person, but the fact that it's been there more than one time, so it's not like it's a new spot or something. Is
Yeah.
what we're saying.
But I mean, this guy, eventually, the saying like "die on that hill." This trainer decided to die on the hill of ignorance.
Well, yeah,
Right.
life is hard. It's harder when you're stupid. But like, why would you go against, if he's got the IHSA skin form, why would you go against that and make it your problem?
How can you?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
That's
it's
what
no
actually-
different. I'll
have
tell you
to-
how. I'm gonna tell you how. It's the same dickhead that said, "Hey, we'll put your mask on," because the guy's never had any control anywhere he goes.
Never had
He's-
got his bullet out of his
Yeah.
pocket.
he's the motherfucker making the meatloaf, not he ain't the one sitting there waiting for it. So when he goes home, he's not wait, you know what I mean? He's the bitch.
Yeah.
So now he gets to tell you to put your mask on. Well, hey, mask up, man. No, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
the same. This is the guy. This is the same guy. This is the same guy. Hey, put your mask on. It's the same guy. You know,
So
whether it is or not,
he
you
was
know
the
what it
guy
is.
watching Bad Bunny last
Yeah.
night on the Super
Fuck
Bowl.
your mask. Bring me my meatloaf, man. That's, you know.
Well, before we get too far in the weeds, obviously,
Hold on. Tim, I don't mean to piggyback on Ealer's last podcast. On the last podcast, but to the fucking nail. I knew right away when you were like, "This is the guy with the fucking meatloaf," I knew right away. And that's phenomenal. That was phenomenal, and I'm sorry for laughing.
yeah. Well, again, on a serious note, like I think what's interesting is, 4 days later, or what, 5 days later, he was able
2
to
days
wrestle.
later.
Oh, two.
TWO
Two.
days later. 2 days later, same exact spot. The athletic trainer at Marmion, who I'm going to go ahead and say is probably an elite individual, who's at Marmion. Oh, GA, I'm familiar with it because I'm familiar with my job. You know,
Yeah, I think
There's-
that's the hard part is like, I mean, if the doctor's note said it's this, and there was, I believe we've heard rumors, we can't confirm that this happened, but that there was a conversation between an actual dermatologist or some sort of doctor and said trainer, and the trainer didn't further look up situation. I feel like
Yeah.
that's you would be familiar if you really wanted to make the right call. You would look up and you would do a quick research. I mean, obviously, right now you can do a ton of research real quick. It's pretty quick to do it. But the fact that he was able to wrestle, why? Wait, remind me why 2 days wasn't?
Because
they
it
didn't
was
wrestle-
but
What,
2
say
days
that
later,
again?
3 days later,
regionals, and then 2 days later, or Wednesday,
It was
So-
Thursday.
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 4 days.
So
4 days later.
Okay, so
Yeah,
thank
and-
you. I was
Thank
correct
you.
the first time.
Whatever.
So
You know, they say, Dalton, that people who are very do that type of correcting, that's a really big sign of narcissism.
okay.
It's like,
Oh God, I've heard this before.
you know, I've heard that because my kid's mom used to tell me that all the time, that I was a fucking
Yeah.
narcissist.
Yeah, I think that's the go-to saying for somebody who was just right the first time.
Yeah.
Anyways, the fact that he was able to pass,
Wrestle at the team sectional.
and wrestle 4 days later, knowing that this situation already transpired, yeah, it does not look good for the whole situation, whether it's the IHSA not being able to have some type of oversight with the process of skin checks and stuff. The fact that we are going to miss out potentially on Liam Kelly and at the 165-pound weight class, like, yeah, it's a very, very silly situation.
Check this out. I don't know if this, I don't remember when we started recording and what was said before or after we started the recording, so what makes it. But there's 6 of us. Dalton's is probably highly intelligent. Ealer's pretty intelligent. Jim won't ever say he's intelligent, but he is. But I'm not going to sit here and say near Buddy's some genius or myself. I don't think any one of us are geniuses. It took us all of 5 minutes as a group of 6 morons wrestling to look this up, look at pictures of it on Liam Kelly versus on Liam Kelly in 2 different events to know what he had then and what it is, right? You could clear as day see it then and be like, oh shit. Oh, he has it in every fucking picture. As a athletic trainer, if you were to do any due diligence, knowing this, if you really cared about high school athletes and the work they put in and who these people are, right? These kids are, don't you think you'd spend, I mean, you're an athletic trainer, you have the ability to override a doctor's note, right? So you must be really fucking smart and educated, and you couldn't figure that out to do, maybe spend 5 to 6, 7 minutes to figure out, look that up on your iPhone or on a laptop, and then look up pictures of Liam, see if he's had it before, and then other pictures.
Not to mention, I imagine that other people were doing the research for him, and this individual was choosing to ignore the other pictures of previous experience. Like, if it's a skin infection, it I mean, there are moments where skin infections there are situations where skin infections repeat in the same place. Like I've had experiences where I had ringworm and it would actually come back in the same spot sometimes because it wasn't necessarily fully gone, or whether that was like just I don't know, the blood flow of some kind. I don't know why, but there would be times where I'd have like ringworm pop up in the same exact spot a couple times. But if you see that, it's very unlikely for that situation to occur where you have the exact same size thing over months of time, still there. So
Yeah.
that is a very telling situation if that was the case. So
But
yeah, I
you
wonder
know how
what it
that
was
goes
like.
too.
Yeah.
Once you go too far into it, like you can't go back on your word. You know what I mean? And that's probably what happened to this guy. He said no, and then he couldn't go back on his no.
Yeah.
I mean,
No. I think you're 100% right. This is a huge problem with decision making, whether it's like even officials, right? We talk about, we've talked about on this where if you had a review, right, where they could stop and review it on video. I'm telling you, I don't think it changes because literally, if you go back, they don't change anything. They don't want to change something because it somehow suggests that they're wrong, and people who are in those positions, they do not like to be wrong. And
yep.
it's that's why I go back to the whole IHSA thing. It's like they have to have oversight and regulations that create protocols that are governing the people who govern the people. So it's like the trainer can't be the end all be all. They can't, the trainer from Morton, Cicero, Berwyn, or whatever cannot dictate how the sport is conducted. You just
So
can't allow it.
this was my point the last podcast. That skin form took it out, should have taken it out of the trainer's hands. It like, here's your sign. This is where the dermatologist signed off. He is
Yeah.
a professional, licensed professional in this area. Like you have nothing, your input doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Even if you hand somebody a skin form written in crayon, it doesn't matter. If it's done, it's done. Like that's okay. It's out of my hands.
Now, if
You
you
know?
don't believe it, if you don't trust it, if you think that it actually is this, you can follow up with the medical professional that provided the signature and all that stuff. But if that's a real person, if that's a real condition, if that's a real
Yeah.
medical professional, then it's like, what are we doing here?
Well, that's the thing.
I
Like you just said, Dalton, they can follow it up on the doctor, and then it's in the doctor's hands. Like, okay, this is a false
Yeah.
paper, and it's on the doctor's hands. And then it's out of the trainer's hands. Like
Yeah.
that's what you're
Yep.
saying. Why didn't that? And if they're on the like say if everybody's on the phone with the doctor, they're showing pictures. They're googling what it is right there in front of the trainer, and still, no.
Right. Well, not only that, I mean, here, go back, like, right to wrong. Say, okay, I don't know what it is. I'm too fucking stupid to Google it. Put a bandage around it, like, a wrap, whatever.
Right.
What he does, what this guy should be doing. Let me just wrap it then. I mean, make it right. Don't die on the hill of stupidity. And
Yeah.
you did, and you know.
Yeah. And
And you did.
I don't know, like legit, I do not know how you can allow it to be on the trainer. Some of these trainers are not, like, all of them are not like certified above the board, like these guys are the best of the best. They're just trainers that are at schools, and some of them are good and some of them are not. And to put the entire season in the hands of that individual is very, very, very bad. Speaking of, though, this is the other question I had. I was told, I don't know who told me this. Somebody said that it's happened before where someone didn't wrestle in the regionals and then got to wrestle in the sectionals. Is that true?
I mean, it could be, but imagine, here's the only issue. I'm a big believer that Liam Kelly will be wrestling in the. That is my belief, and I have reasons for that belief. I could go into detail real quick. Mount Carmel has very well-to-do graduates, alumni, with money who may not like what's going on, and they'd have no problem contributing to a fund that pays for a lawyer, whatever needs to be done. Okay, if the Kellys, I'm not saying the Kellys can't afford it. I'm just saying I believe there's the financial backing to get this done in a court of law. But I think the one problem I do see is he didn't actually even get entered to the bracket because
But he weighed in.
he did weigh in. Okay. And then, but they didn't enter him as the bracket. So would he technically be an alternate if that was like the way they got in?
I don't know. I mean, I don't
How-
know.
I don't know how they do it.
Showed up. You know what I mean? You showed up, you weighed in, and then the next part is the skin check, and that's the part that, you know, where we're at. And then the part after that is the bracket, and then the whistle blowing, and then the wrestling. So I mean, he did everything he could do in his own power.
Yeah.
They just, I mean, you piggyback him into that. Whoever took third, he wrestles him at sectionals first.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
You know?
solution is easy. Whether or not that solution is done is based on, you know, the willingness of
Either way this goes, either way it plays out, a precedent will be set.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely think either way it goes, it still looks extremely bad in the sense of there clearly is no organizational leadership when it comes to situations like this. The state championship cannot be decided by a athletic trainer. End of story. It just cannot. And so yeah, it does not look good.
What I learned in my process with the IHSA is, I mean, there's rules for rules. Like if it comes from this guy, we have to, you know, it's you'd be surprised. I don't think anybody here be surprised, but you'd be surprised how unorganized it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking chaotic. Believe me, it's chaotic. It's ran like a garage sale. Who's ever available? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. They like things like, you're like, well, so and so will be handling that, but they're not going to be in the office for the next 3 days because they're actually in Mokina investigating another incident. But it's like, they are. That's odd. How come we haven't heard about this other incident? Because our incident has been fucking all over the news, or Harrison Conder's shit all over the news, right? But nobody's heard about this other kid. And they tell you, like, I remember during the beginning of Jimmy's, when they were doing the first of the interviews, I remember the one time so-and-so wasn't available because he was, that's what he was investigating, like 3 or 4 cases at like 1 or 2 schools in a similar area. So he wouldn't be around for like 3 days. And then even once they made the original ruling against Jimmy, they were like, well, we got all the things we need, and we'll make our recommendation to Sam, and he'll get back to you. So you on the way home, you have a 3-hour drive to Springfield from Woodstock with these 2 guys, right? That's what they had after they conducted these interviews together, right? You telling me in that car ride you guys didn't make a fucking decision? And then we couldn't get an answer, so they go to the Donnybrook and are told we'll let you know. And then when they let them know, the night before the weigh-in,
it was until Abe's Rumble. So it was November. It was after Christmas in December. It was all in November, and then till after Christmas in December.
Yeah, but when they went, there was no guarantee they could or couldn't wrestle yet.
No, it was recommended that they didn't compete. Make weight, just don't compete.
But I'm saying the IHSA didn't say they couldn't. They just recommended. And it was
Correct.
like, what?
Yeah, I don't understand. We recommend you don't.
But that's the garage sale mentality, right? We recommend you don't, but we're not saying you can't.
Well, that's the gray area that they live in. Like that, you know what I mean? If that way, there is no answer.
Yeah. Yeah, looking back, he definitely should have wrestled just because, I mean, it was going to be decided one way or the other. I mean, I think that, yeah, I mean, this situation is extremely unfortunate. I think a lot of these situations are unfortunate, and I definitely think it is a result of bad leadership. I mean, literally, if you have a state, let's say the trainer for the state tournament, the head trainer for the state tournament is on call during sectionals or regionals at the weigh-ins, and every situation that happens across the state at regionals that are questionable, they immediately have to go to this state trainer, the guy who's going, or the guy or gal who's in communication with the IHSA. Clearly, they could go, okay, now what's the situation? Let's talk about the note. Let's talk about the evidence and situation. Let's talk about all that real quick. It'll take 30 minutes to figure it out, but we have a direct communication to the governing body. And it seems like that didn't happen here.
Yeah.
And you could have easily had somebody available and ready to go for stuff like this, knowing that this is a large part of the sport. You know,
Line was busy.
Yeah. Well, I just from talking to people that were at the tournament, I know for a fact that when they did like elevate a little bit, they couldn't get a hold of anybody at the IHSA. You know.
Yeah.
Line was busy. Yep. Told you.
Which
I mean, it's-
when the state series is starting, you should be ready for it. Like you should be
Just
doing
be
it.
accessible. Everybody's got a cell phone, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm running the state organization for competition and the state series starts, I'm waking up as if I'm at every regional across the state. I'm excited. I might even be, patching into the national, the NHFS or whatever broadcast, watching some. I mean, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be in it. But I don't think that they're as into the sport as we are. I think that's the hard part about the IHSA is I don't necessarily know if they are a sport centered organization. I think that they're, again, if you look at the website and their bylaws and all their rules and stuff, I think that they don't really care about the sport stuff as much as they care about the pageantry of kids getting to
Well, 100%.
compete with stuff.
100%. Well, I mean, and that's fine. Don't even pretend you care. But I mean, you care about the revenue that you're stringing this thing along for 3 days for these kids to wrestle 4 matches.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
that's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, well, let's not go too far into the weeds on this. We've already, I think, I mean, I hope everything happens. I hope something happens that can bring him back in. I don't think anybody in the state of Illinois would be upset if he has the ability to wrestle at sectionals. I think we'll all
No.
be happy about it. And
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, that's just it. Like I don't know, retrain this guy. Send him some fucking classes or something. I don't know. But yeah, man, don't like. I don't know. Maybe
Just-
this
I
guy's
s-
not qualified. Maybe
I'd
he's
say
not.
just ask for his bullet back. Repo his bullet. Tell him you got to take it out of the front shirt pocket. He's done.
I don't know what
Yeah.
that is though. What are you talking about?
You've never watched Barney freaking Fife?
No.
He's the sheriff with the one. They give him one bullet because they know he's going to do something stupid. So he gets
Oh,
one
okay.
bullet and he's got to keep it. In the Andy Griffith Show. Come on,
Oh.
Dalton.
Hey, I might be bald, but I'm not that old, bro.
Jesus.
Speaking of funny thing, that's in the movie Super Troopers. They give Officer Farva a fake gun. They gave him a wooden gun because he's stupid and he's gonna make a mistake, so they don't want him to. Yeah. Mark, I actually had this question for you, Mark. Like, and everybody else can chime in, obviously, but I was looking. So when I uploaded all the results through 3A, 2A, 1A state result, regional results, what I noticed is even at that regional, there were so many regionals that had less than 60 kids wrestling. Is it really that necessary to do regionals? Or could we get away with like a super sectional and then the state tournament?
I think the only problem with the super sectional is that in certain areas you're not going to have 60 kids. So even if you combine the 4 regionals, and let's say all 460 kids, still 240 kids, right? The reality is that certain regionals are pretty much full. You're getting 7 to 9. There's 8 or 9 teams, and the brackets have 7 to 9 kids at every, right? The Chicagoland area, outside of the Chicago public schools, area of the CPS, but the vast majority of the CPS, they are real like gung ho fanatical wrestlers, and they don't put out full teams. But the rest of like the suburbs outside of Chicago, they're pretty packed. The 3 school wise are, and I just don't think you can pull it off in 3A. I think it's more doable in some of the areas, but
Plus, what am I gonna do if I don't get a regional qualifier patch?
we don't have the
Or a sectional. I'm sorry, sectional qualifier patch. You know what I mean?
Same credentials.
Well,
Yeah,
I just looked at some of these regionals that, and the teams, there was only like, I mean, it was very, very, very thin as far as like starting lineups going in.
Even that weight, even the Liam Kelly weight, I mean, it's a 4-man bracket if Liam's. But when you look at who they put out, you get Chicago. Hancock was in there, St. Lawrence, and then Morton. I mean, those St. Lawrence back in the day used to be a solid wrestling program. That was a long fucking time ago, man. But
Yeah.
I mean, a 3A regional with 4 kids at once, crazy to me.
I agree.
Crazy.
Well,
That's for 215. That's the upper middleweight.
Yeah. Here's another thought too that I mean, again, I ask these questions kind of rhetorically, right? Like I know the answer is that could be done, right? But it has to take the powers that be to make it. But like nationally ranked wrestlers, should they even have to wrestle in regionals and sectionals?
In theory, it's a waste of time, but because you have to have a qualification process. I say
Sure, but if again, I'm a golfer, so I always use golf. But the biggest tournaments in golf, they qualify in advance, right? So if they're the top 10 golfer in the world, they don't have to compete in the weekends leading up to the majors. They get qualified in because of it. Now, there are people who aren't as good and they play in the week before these majors, and if they win that tournament or they do really well, they get into the tournament, right? So they qualify. I just feel like you talk about equity, right? Like all 3 of those kids that were at that regional with Liam Kelly. You want equity? All right, give Liam the pass to the state tournament because he's a nationally ranked kid. He's a state champion. Why does he have to prove that he's going to be at the state tournament? Let those other kids qualify. Let them other kids wrestle.
I don't want to offend you.
You can. I'm not offended. At all.
Golf is a skill. It is not a sport. John
okay.
Davis, if I need.
Well,
Okay.
regardless of yeah.
I'm a big.
I mean,
I feel like
I see what you're trying to do. I feel what you're trying to do, but I just don't see how. I don't know how you're gonna roll that into the school function part of the IHSA. Is that a good way for other qualifying events and stuff like this? Yeah, I get it, but like, how do you want to say it?
Buddy, to me, it's almost like you're determining allocations like you were the Big Tens, right? Or any other conference in college, right? And I don't, in theory, it's a great idea. Like, hey, let's not even waste these fucking studs' times. Like, you're automatic locks, okay? The problem with that is, though, this is high school athletics. And the governing body that isn't a multi-billion-dollar thing like college athletics are, right? Where you can have allocations, where you have a committee that gets together and they determine who gets how many bids using RPI, right? Like the Big Ten will get probably 10 guys out at 184 automatic. So they'll place through 8, and then they have that second tournament for the guys that don't place in the top 8, and the guys that make that finals match and the second, you know what I'm talking about, get 9th and 10th, they're automatic in, right? But then they look at 130 or 141 and they'll say, nah, not as good, only 7. Right? So you got to take top 7. But even then, they're still having to qualify, right? Like, I get it in golf, but in every other sport out there.
Well, Jim.
Well, and wrestling's the only sport, too, where a match can be flipped around like that.
Yeah, but Jim, how do you get into Super 32?
Well, you got to be, well, it depends. Like, because the high school, it's different. Elementary and middle school are who's ever registers first.
Did Jimmy have to qualify? Did Jimmy have to wrestle his way into Super 32 this year?
No.
Exactly.
State champ.
No, because he placed the year before.
That
and
too,
yeah, well,
there's other criteria that automatically get you a bid into it as well.
So it's already been done. I mean, this is not new, and it's not a golf thing. This is just a logic thing. Okay. I just feel. I mean, again, I look back and I just see.
Well, here, let me do this real fast though. What national rankings? Because there's 3-4 platforms of national rankings,
and they're all different.
And then what do you got to be in the top 10, the top 50, the top 100? Where do you got to be? Because to be in the top 50 is a big deal. To be in the top 100 is a big deal. I mean, to be think about how many kids there are. Think about how many weight classes there are. If you're nationally ranked in the top 100, that's a pretty big deal. It
Yeah.
really is. Now, me being me, like, if I don't. It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal to be top 50 is huge. To be top 25 is huge. Top 10 is huge. Top 5, number 1. I mean, but
Well, you could.
what's the
I mean, yeah, you're right. You could use. You could. You'd have to get specific with your qualification process, but even just use your own tournament, right? Liam Kelly is a returning state champion. What do you like? You know what I mean? It's not like he was a returning qualifier and he lost in the blood round. And it's like, well, we don't really know. It's like, no, this kid is a returning state champion.
Yeah.
He's going to the University of Illinois, the in-state college of it's like, I mean, I feel like something like this is such a stain on the bracket and the state tournament itself. It's like, it makes no sense. It's like, even if, and I think we mentioned this even if Liam Kelly had a skin infection, let's just say he had a skin infection, a real skin infection, 3 weeks from regionals, it's going to be gone. So it's like, it's just one of those things. I just don't understand why the good kids can't just get in. I mean, he's the good kid, so let him in.
Hallelujah.
But anyway, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to see. I think the regional stuff I was interested in because there were so many regionals that had like buys and forfeits, most of it, and it's like, man, are we really wasting our weekend doing this?
Yes.
Yeah, the answer to that question is yes.
Yeah. And I just feel like there's definitely a better way to do this. And I feel like it's inevitable that there's a better way to do this. And I don't know how that comes to be or what happens, but there's definitely a better way to do this. But yeah, anything else off topic that you guys are interested to talk about before we head into sectionals this week?
No, it'd be sectional related, so not really, I guess. I don't know. What else? What are we forgetting here? What did I say the other day? I'm like, oh man, we got to talk about that. What was it?
Not sure. Now, doesn't Liam Kelly have a meeting or something tomorrow? Will this all be figured out tomorrow then?
Good question.
I don't
know.
There was a rumor going around about that, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Maybe not. But yeah, I mean, time's running short, so if they're gonna get him in,
yeah,
figured out real quick.
Yeah.
Like I've said before, a lot of people didn't like this new format, but this new format is the only reason why we have a possibility of getting Liam Kelly into the States.
That's a true story right there.
There was not enough time in the old format. It would never have been possible.
yeah.
Shit.
No such thing as a coincidence.
I'll say it right now. I don't care what people think of me. If I'm fucking Liam Kelly or a donor at fucking Mount Carmel and I got bucks, not Liam Kelly, if I'm Mr. Kelly, Mrs. Kelly, I might reach out to, I don't know, the kid with the 6-6 record that took 3rd place. I might reach out to him or in his school. And it's a Chicago public school. I might offer $5,000 to fucking not show. I ain't even playing. I would. If I could, I don't even care because I think it's fucking such a travesty and it pisses me off so fucking bad. When I see shit like this, I don't care who you are. Like if you're the kid from the school I despise most, I mean, I could list a couple coaches out there who I think are just not good people and don't belong anywhere near kids and are pieces of shit. I would hate
this took an odd turn.
Yeah, we're getting a little aggressive here, Mark Stewart.
But if this was happening to one of their kids, right, I would feel the same way because I just feel it's wrong to a kid. And
100%.
Yeah.
There's been cases with wrestling more than any other sport recently.
A generic saying, but it's like it's the son that pays for the father's sins. And it's similar to this. It's the kids that pay for the athletic directors and coaches. And in this term, the athletic trainer sins, right? It's the kids are their puppets. Some dickhead athletic director. I mean, he could make things hard on a kid. Dude, it's a kid at the end of the day. It's, what are you
Well,
doing?
yeah, and I don't know if you were going this direction, but like it is interesting how the whole system of wrestling is predicated around the pursuit of elite wrestling, right? So if we didn't have kids that were trying to be the best that they could possibly be, would there even be a state tournament, right? Like, there even be a wrestling team, right? So
It's like, dude, it's like the analogy for racing. The day that racing was invented was the day the second car was built. Everybody, you're going to have competition no matter what you're in, right? And everybody wants to be the best.
Well, I guess what I was saying is it's unfortunate that the best kids oftentimes are the ones that are getting persecuted in some capacity, and they're the ones that are making this entire thing relevant or worthwhile anyways.
Right before you said persecuted, that was the word that popped in my head before you even said it. It was like, and it's so true. We don't, I got a little bit of information. Only one star at Mercy High School was returned to their old school. He was high school. And this goes to what you're saying. There was so much talk about that. 4 kids quit. 4 good kids quit because they were pissed off and they want their head coach back, right? However, there was 6 kids, for a fact, that were non-varsity starters that were not living in that district. I cannot tell you that they got, I'm not saying they got caught and they were forced to go back to original school, or they just went, never mind, we're out of here. That's the facts. That's what the truth, right? You never heard about those kids, did you? This comes from a source at Hersey High School. I will not say who it is. I will do them that favor. I just spoke to them at we never heard about those 6 kids. Do you know why? Because they weren't fucking relevant, right? They weren't good. I'm not saying they won't be good, but they're not good yet. They're not varsity relevant starters. The kid from Wheeling he's okay. He wasn't bad, McCrone or whatever the heck his name was. But we heard about that. Nobody talked about the possibility that it was just some freshmen and JV kids, and that's what the majority of it was.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's yeah, it always seems to happen to the good kids. But
Amen.
It just, nobody cares to report if you're just kind of like irrelevant or you haven't made your mark yet. Nobody really cares. But hey, you're the freshman phenom, or you're the state champion transfers, dude. They're coming. They're gonna look at your paperwork. They're gonna go through your stuff. They're gonna come interview you. They could possibly want to see your home. Want to see all this paperwork. And oh, hey, wait a minute. We don't like this. Let's talk Colin Young, right? I mean, what did they find in his investigation that really bothered him? What really was the address that they had? Mom's name wasn't on it, right? With the apartment lease for the apartment, right? Am I wrong?
I don't know I don't know the exact situation, but yeah, it was a clerical error, right? It was something that wasn't.
A minute.
It was only the dad's name, not mom and dad.
Yeah, and they go, well, you guys aren't divorced, so why is her name not on it? No. What? Who the fuck are you to tell me I got to include my wife's name on a lease, bro?
Yeah.
That's retarded. Now, would that have happened to John McWiggins, who was a returning sectional qualifier only? No, it would never have happened.
Yeah. Well, I think this would be a good time to preview an upcoming podcast. So on Thursday, we're going to catch up with some coaches from the state of Iowa, and one of them's from Illinois, so it'll be fun to catch up with him. But I'm going to love the opportunity to talk to these coaches from Iowa and talk about the fact that they're an open enrollment state. They have school choice, like they have the opportunity to move based on what their families and athletes like are looking for as far as like a athletic program and which one provides the best opportunities and stuff. So I'm interested to see that because I really, really think that, um, yeah, that the state of Illinois could really benefit from that. I think sports are very valuable. I think sometimes people always talk about academics and getting their schooling good, done and everything or whatever. But like athletics is like one of the biggest industries in our entire country. It drives millions and millions and let's go billions of dollars each and every year. There's industries around it. So athletics is as important, if not more important than education. It provides so much of the foundational aspects of a human. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to talk to those guys about what it's like in Iowa and if they have more or less problems and yeah, it will be fun. So I'm excited
Yeah.
about that. That's a little preview. Stay tuned for that. But yeah,
Well,
if that
the athletics versus education thing is kind of, I mean, like, so the kid that's training to be going to school to be a doctor or whatever, and he's going to be the doctor for the Oakland A's, right? So I mean, like, he became a doctor. So his academics were really important, but he's still in the world of
yeah,
sports, right?
he wouldn't have a 6-figure job or a 7-figure job if it wasn't for the $1 million sports team, or billion
Yeah,
dollar sports team.
you know, and it no different than like whatever I do for a living. Like I'm gonna spend money on wrestling shoes, not for me, you know what I mean? But like, you get what I mean? Like it's all.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, no, I just don't think I think there's a lot to it. I don't think we can just poo-poo it and be like, "Oh, it's just athletics," not care about it. It's like it's a big deal at every level of our society and yeah, I think we should view it like that. But either way, I'm looking forward to have that conversation with those guys, and I want to hear what it's like. I'm tempted. I'm an Illinois guy, but I'm kind of envious of some of these other states and how they get to move around if they want.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like let freedom ring.
Yeah,
Mhm.
freedom ring. Well, guys, I think that'd be a great ending. Yes, we'll have another one this week, so stay tuned for that. And then sectionals starts on Friday, and yeah, a couple more weeks left to season. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's gone so fast.
Very fast this year.
But all right, guys, any last words?
Go Bears.